Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-wee. I just sat my butt in this chair just now. It it has been a day. It takes me a second to get myself oriented. Please forgive me. Whew, it's been a long one. Hi, Lissa. Hi, Julie. Good to see you guys. So many of you has spent so much time with me today, and I love it. I love it. I've seen you around. I did a live stream specifically for my patrons to get my January goals up today. I did some coaching today. I I led a meeting for Healthy today, which was a lot of fun. Brought me back to my good old Weight Watchers days. And man, it has been a day. It has been a day. And I feel like the lighting in here is not great. And I don't really have a solution because my lamp is not plugged in. If you give me a hot second, I can plug my lamp in and get some light in here. There we go. There we go. How's that, y'all? A little bit brighter up in here. Okay. How were the meatballs? Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. So we had can't decide. So here's what we did. For those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, I made 2 recipes out of the cookbook Run Fast, Eat Slow. And I love everything about the cookbook. The philosophy of it is really great. The ingredients are awesome when it comes to like clean eating and things like that. And it's very much on par with the changes in food that I want to be making, right? Because I've been talking about the last live stream was forever ago. I know it really was. But so it's on par with what I have been wanting to do in terms of changes for my my food, my ingredients. And so tonight I made their version of simple marinara sauce and bison meatballs. And I used Jovial brand cassava flour pasta noodles as the pasta. So the finished dish was a bowl of pasta with 3 meatballs on it with sauce and Parmesan cheese on top. And hi, Rosie. And the the opinions were solidly meh, meh. And I think the big flaw here was the pasta sauce. This was, and I don't know if it was chef error or the fact that I used the crock pot instead of like a regular pot and the condensed version of time, but I had so much happening that in between my healthy meeting and my coaching call, I threw everything in a crock pot and just let it simmer. And I made the meatballs and just didn't cook them. And so everything was done. So after my coaching call, I could go downstairs and finish cooking dinner. And the sauce had no flavor. Like that's, and it was watery. And now here's the thing. In this sauce, they wanted us to put carrots. So we put carrots in the sauce and I let all, carrots and onions, and it was canned whole tomatoes and spices. Is that really it? Was it that? Like, it was super simple. It was not hard. They call for 1 onion. I put 2 onions in there. I put in, I don't know, 4 handfuls of baby carrots because it was supposed to be like 2 whole carrots. And I'm like, all I have are baby carrots. So I threw carrots in there. But I feel like once I cooked it all down, I feel like between the liquid in the tomatoes, which now I'm thinking about it, I don't think it said drain the tomatoes either. So I had between the liquid in the carrots and the liquid in the tomatoes, it was too watery and you could taste the carrot and the water associated with the carrot. And I put in the appropriate amount of spices, and I didn't have oregano, so I used Italian seasoning blend. And when I went to taste it after I used the immersion blender, I felt like I had no flavor. So I proceeded to add more salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and I probably threw in another dash of Italian seasoning too, just to try and up the flavor a little bit. And it was still pretty flavorless, which makes me sad. I'm proud that I did it. I made a sauce tonight. I'm trying to figure out if I can convert it into some sort of tomato soup to consume because like we're not going to get rid of the rest, and there's plenty left. So what can I do with it to make it a little bit more palatable and not have to like hate oregano? I know, and I don't have any oregano, so that's why I use the Italian seasoning blend. It did call for oregano, but I really jarred pesto. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So that's while I was talking about this, and Kim is laughing because Julie said oregano, I'm assuming. Oh my goodness. Um, so I'm sitting there as I'm eating, trying to figure out, I'm like, how am I going to modify this sauce so it's actually something we are kind of excited to eat? Now, that's the sauce. And I feel like the sauce, of course, can make or break a dish. So we didn't love it. You could just cook it down until it gets thicker. My husband did say that too. At the oregano. Yeah. So we did do that. I could tell him to just turn. Now we have the crock pot. So what do we do to get rid of the liquid? Turn the crock pot on and just leave it uncovered so the water evaporates. Like for real, because I will text my husband and be like, "Don't put the sauce away. Just turn the crock pot back on high." I can do that if that's what'll actually happen. This is my first time. I think my first time trying to make a marinara sauce of any kind. But so the sauce was not great. The meatballs, I thought the meatballs were good. The meatballs were bison meat, ground bison, and Parmesan cheese. And instead of breadcrumbs, I used almond meal to get rid of the wheat. And then you brown them on all sides. My husband said that they were weird because it was put it in a regular pot to make it go much faster. Okay, hang on. Let me text my husband. What do you say? Rosie says, transfer the sauce into a pot and cook it longer to thicken. Well, we'll see if he does it or if he just goes screw it, but that will probably be a good first step. And then I need to get some oregano, apparently. I thought I had some. But anyway, my husband said some of it was like chewy, and then you hit like a medium rare portion, and he didn't like the meatballs much either. He's like, this is not your best work, which is fine. I don't expect everything I cook to be perfect. But I personally liked the meatballs. They had Parmesan cheese in them, so it was a really great flavor profile. Was there salt? There was salt in there. Oh, I didn't use like fennel seed and whatever. I use my own little seasoning, so I could probably season it a little bit more. Today's dinner was brought to you by lack of seasoning, apparently. And it wasn't for lack of me trying either. I seasoned the heck out of that sauce and it still didn't do anything. But I thought the meatballs were good. They were hearty nonetheless. My husband was like, if he never has these again, then you know what? I feel like yes, Julie. I feel like I've made marinara at least one other time and it was not bad. But I don't remember when that was. And then the pasta, I used Jovial brand cassava flour pasta. So it was grain free and it's still just straight carbohydrate, no fat, no protein. It's still straight carbohydrate, but it is made from cassava, which I think is a plant. And it was good. It was good. I had no complaints about the pasta. Like I haven't had regular pasta in so long, or with any sense of frequency, that like I didn't really notice a difference. I'm sure if I put Lindsay, good to see you. Happy New Year. If you put regular pasta and cassava flour pasta next to each other, I'm sure I would notice a difference. But tonight I did not notice a difference. Did you really just buy me a salt shaker? I love that you keep it relevant, Lissa. I love that you keep it relevant. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes. So let me write down, because I knew that I made a better sauce before. The skinny-ish dish. Have I made the skinniest dishes one? I can't remember. I know I made a 0-point sauce back in Weight Watchers. The Italian is shocking. You know, Rosie, and I almost made a comment. I'm like, Rosie is going to shun me for this. But no, we don't eat pasta very often. The last time I had real pasta was, do you guys remember that date night that I went out to, and we went to like this fancy restaurant and I had pistachio ravioli and like pistachio and goat cheese ravioli. So it's like pistachio pesto or something and goat cheese stuffed ravioli. I'm pretty sure, and that was like in August. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I had real pasta. It is not a staple in our diets. It's just not. The Italian food that we eat, like I eat Italian flavored things, but we don't necessarily do pasta. We just haven't. We like for, diet mentality, it's a carb that we've just chosen to get rid of. But even post fixing the diet mentality, it's never been something that I've missed. It's not something I miss. So occasionally I'll make, like I've had Bonza sent me a gift package once. So I would make pasta dishes out of Bonza pasta. Does this count as real pasta? I have had macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese, and Velveeta shells and cheese. So technically I've had real pasta, but not like Italian, I'm making spaghetti. I haven't done that in a long time. Because it's just not a staple. We do it once in a blue moon, and because we prefer other things. And but I tried this tonight, and the jovial pasta, all in all, was quite good. I even asked my husband, I'm like, what was your opinion of the pasta? And for his distaste of the whole dish, I'm like, take the sauce away. What did you think of the actual pasta? Did you notice anything funky, anything weird? Because people are going to ask me about it. And he said it was fine. He's like, I'm used to you throwing random pastas at me because like I'll be like, oh, I'm making chickpea pasta tonight or lentil pasta or whatever it is. Yeah, although I don't know if I've actually tried lentil pasta. I can't remember now. But he's used to me throwing that at him, and he's like, it wasn't any worse than the other ones you've given me. It's not real pasta, but it's not bad. So the jovial pasta was great. I thought the meatballs were tasty, but my husband did not. And the sauce was a miss. The sauce was a miss, which is a bummer. But I feel full, and I do not feel like bloated and overstuffed. I feel full though. And that was a 650 calorie dinner. Hearty, healthy, whole foods, but real heavy hitter. I had one box of pasta I cooked up today because I felt like my dinner was missing a carb. Would you like to lose a specific amount of weight in your fat loss phase? Do you have a goal in mind? Nope. I have no goal in mind, and I do not plan on setting that expectation of myself because it is, for me, it's a way to set myself up to fail. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. The problem with having really thick, flighty hair. So I'm just going into it. Like I have an idea of where I would like the scale to settle somewhere in the 150s. Ultimately, I don't know if that's going to happen this year. Because I don't know at what rate the scale is going to change. I have no idea. I'm ready. I'm rearing to go. I want to pull the trigger so bad. And I'm like, it's only 2.5 more weeks. It's only 2.5 more weeks. That's what I have to keep telling myself. It's because I don't plan on pulling the trigger early, but I really, really want to. But I have for this cut, I have no specific set expectation because the amount I lose is not going to change the duration of my cut. That's going to make no difference. I'm going to cut for a certain amount of time. I'm going to go on a diet break, and then I'm going to cut for another amount of time. And then I'm going to reverse diet back into maintenance and hang out in maintenance. And if I am not satisfied yet with where my body is at in terms of weight, I can do the same cycle in 2023. That's how it's going to go. So I don't know what my body's going to do. I have no idea. I will be sharing every little bit of it with you. So look forward to that, but I have no set weight loss goal in mind, especially for this cut in particular. My sister bought a thing of cheese powder off of Amazon, so I'll be able to make mac and cheese pasta anytime I want. Trader Joe's has a really good red lentil pasta. Interesting. I'll have to try that. Too many things at one time. Too many new things at one time to eat. The ingredients that we had weren't new. Like we eat bison burgers, not regularly, but like when we go out and there's a bison burger on the menu, we eat bison burgers. And a handful of times I've gotten bison from my butcher box. I've made bison burgers. So bison is not new to us, which was the whole base of the meal. But like, it was just like the flaw was in the sauce, really, for me. My husband didn't like the meatballs, but for me, the flaw was in the sauce. And it just wasn't flavorful enough. I wanted to, I don't have any tomato paste. I wanted to dump tomato paste in there and dissolve it in because it didn't even have that tomato kick that I expect out of marinara sauce. It was just not enough tomato and too much of other things. Like maybe the amount of carrots I put in was too much. I don't know. But I made superhero muffins out of that same cookbook, and those are awesome. So I'm not giving up on this cookbook because one sauce was not great, but that's I will probably not make that sauce recipe again and default to something else, which is fine. Which is fine. Tomato paste, yeah, like because tomato paste is the most dense version of tomato flavor. So I'm like, that's what I needed. I'm like, I don't have any, like, I could just put in like 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I don't know if it does, like, how to blend it in, but that's what it needed. It needed that tomatoey punch to give it the right flavor because it didn't even taste tomatoey to me. That was the problem. That was my big beef with it. I don't know. But tomato paste is not something I usually keep on hand. So anyway, but I feel good. I feel good about what I ate. I'm actually sitting here shocked that because I ate really quickly too. I ate my whole bowl in like 10 minutes or less. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to regret this life choice. But I don't. I actually feel really good. So there's that. Tomato paste is in the skinniest dish recipe. There you go. You need that extra tomatoey flavor. You need that flavor, right? Tomato paste is worth it. You can get it in a squeezable thing. Yeah, okay. I just need to get tomato paste in my house because I love Italian sauces. I'm somebody who one of my favorite breakfasts, y'all, is a fold over made with, or I don't even fold it over anymore because I don't use the tortillas currently. But I love the combination, and you guys are going to think this is weird if you haven't watched it on my videos, and you probably still think it's weird. Eggs with crumbled goat cheese and like pizza sauce or marinara sauce. And the marinara sauce and the cheese gets all melted together, and it's just so good. It's so good. But it's the tomatoey part of that that's really your pasta strained tomato. Oh, interesting. It's almost half done. Huh. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's okay. That's okay. I will try something completely different next time out of the cookbook. I think the next thing on the agenda for Brianna's cooking adventures is I need to use the pork shoulder, pork butt. There is something in my freezer from Butcher Box that is supposed to make pulled pork. And so I'm going to do one of the pulled pork weeks from the Cook Once, Eat All Week cookbook because while it is hearty and clean and delicious, it's still like 600 to 700 calories for the meals and a lot of fat. And once my cut starts, I'll be very specific about where my fat goes because I'm losing a lot of my fat. Not off my body, off of my macros. So I'm trying to get rid of the pieces of meat in my freezer that are going to be really heavy in fat. So I don't just have, because I also have a chuck roast that I need to turn into a pot roast all before the 23rd or 24th. My goodness. Doesn't really sound all that weird. I love eggs and tomato sauce. Yeah, it's good. It's good. But anyway, how are y'all? It is the new year. It is 2022. I am so far feeling really, really good about it. And I know we're only 5 days in. And I took 2 of those days to not really take affirmative actions towards my goals. That's not entirely true. I did some of the things in my power sheets. I gathered all of my YouTube metric information and my financial information and all of that over the weekend. But now we are in it to win it. How will you know how low to cut in your cut? I am going to hire my coach back, and my coach is going to tell me what to do. And this is not because we actually had this discussion for our anniversary last night. Because what else do you do when you're, not eating out and doing fun things for your anniversary? We ordered food and we just had it here. We had champagne here and whatnot. But we got into personality conversations last night, and I was explaining to my husband what an obliger is in it, like down to the core, which is what a lot of you guys are. Because I had a client return to me yesterday, and I was just telling him I'm so excited to have this client back because I absolutely adore her. And but she came to me because she just needed somebody. She knows the right answers, but she just needs somebody to hold her accountable and guide her. And I'm like, and this is exactly what I need when I have a coach too. I have the certification. I don't officially have it yet. Like I know all the information for how to do my macros. I can calculate my macros and pretty much I could write them out, and I would be shocked if they weren't the same or very close to what my coach is going to give me. But because I like having the external accountability, because I need the external accountability, my coach is going to do that for me. My job is not to figure out my macros. My job is to figure out all my clients' macros and keep on top of them and do that. My macros are coming from my coach who I'm paying, because it's easier on me and I have that accountability and I don't have to worry about it. And it gives me the freedom to troubleshoot. It gives me the freedom to reach out to somebody, and it gives me all of the accountability and security that I need. And I'm very excited about that. So I couldn't tell you. I have a guesstimation. If I had to guess, I'm going to be eating somewhere between 1750 and 1800 calories to cut. That's my guess. We will see. We will see what the actual answer is, and I will likely still be at 140, maybe even 145 grams of protein. Who knows? And my fat and my carbs are going to get cut, and it's not going to be that dramatic, but it's still going to feel pretty dramatic because I've been really enjoying having all of this fat to eat. Although I don't think you'll be mad if you lose a lot of your fat off your body too. Preach. That's the truth. The quicker we can do this, the quicker it falls off. If it just wants to all go away real fast so I can go back to eating all the food that I like to eat, that would be great. In quantities I like to eat. Here's the thing. Here's the special thing about this cut. I am not doing the low fat, fat free, sugar free, let me figure out how to make a diet friendly cupcake with frosting. I'm not playing that game this time. I am going to focus on eating real food the whole time and just in less quantity. That's going to be my focus. And where I stand right now, I feel like I'm not like, and I'm gonna jinx it. I'm gonna end up struggling hardcore because I'm about to say this. But right now, where I'm at right now, I feel like that's not going to be too difficult for me. Because I have recently, I have noticed I haven't been tracking every single day. I've been tracking on and off. And as I've been eating, I've been thinking, I'm like, oh, I've just eat till I'm satisfied. If I want a couple mini Snickers that I'm trying to get out of the house, or I've been doing I haven't been measuring my M&Ms. I've been doing 2 handfuls because each handful has equaled about an ounce. So like I've been rough measuring. I've been weighing and measuring, but not tracking, that like all of it's been rough. And I think if today was any indicator, I've been under eating. I've been undershooting by 21, 22, 2300 calories. And I say it like that because I hit maintenance at 2300 calories, or 20. I think we finalized on 22. 23 felt like too much food for me, but I pulled back myself 100 calories because my activity has tanked big time. So I pulled off the 100 calories myself because I wasn't moving as much. And I think I clocked in today. What do I still have left? And this is with a 650 calorie dinner. I still have 478 calories to eat. So I've been undershooting because I haven't been hungry. And while that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now, which is why I tracked today, because I'm like, shoot, I got to get all my calories in, and actually make sure that like my metabolism is ready to go for this cut. But what it indicates to me is when the cut starts, it should be pretty easy, at least to start, until my body adapts to, oh, she's not actually feeding us that much anymore. But maybe it won't, because 1800 calories is still a lot of calories for dieting. And that's great. That's fine. If I can lose fat on 1800 calories, even 1700 calories, I will be a happy camper. I'll be a happy camper. And worth noting, 1600 to 1700 calories was what I tried in February of last year. And it didn't work. It worked the first week, but then hormonal things happened and everything. And try as I might, it did not work. I'm very curious to see if some of the work and supplementation and things that I've done to help my hormones plays into this at all. Because I've started taking one supplement specifically. I just started a second one, so I have no way to tell you how it has helped or not helped yet. But I started taking Vitex supplement. And it's supposed to help with, I think, getting rid of estrogen, increasing progesterone, whatever. I started taking it the second half of my cycle. And the first month that I took it, so I started right after ovulation, took it through when my period started. And I didn't even see my period coming. It was the first time in a long time where I had little to no PMS symptoms, minimal bloating, not very many cramps, like not debilitating cramps. I think I took one ibuprofen the whole period. And I was like, I didn't even see this coming. Usually I anticipate it coming for like a week, and I didn't even see it coming. And it was magical. And that was the month that I took both this Vitex berry or Vitex, it's also known as chasteberry, and the new Harmony CBD thing from My Soul CBD. So they released a PMS specific gummy, and I did start taking that at the same time that I started taking the Vitex. But I don't know what magic it was, but it was great. So all that to say, hopefully any hormonal weirdness that was happening this time last year won't be a factor this time. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. And as this year goes on and everything, I want to dive back into cycle syncing. Kind of took a back seat except for my productivity. And I kind of want to bring that back to the forefront. I did join the lifetime membership for the Flow Living, Flow 28, the monthly membership from Cycle Syncing. I know, another membership, but this was one and done thing. And if anybody is actually interested in trying out the Flow 28 thing, they did give me a code for you guys. If you're interested, I just have to find it to get a month free. So if you wanted to dabble in the Flow 28 portal, then you can. If you use the code Diva28, that's my code. It'll get you a free month in the Flow 28 portal, which is kind of cool because it gives like monthly themes and things like that. So for anybody thinking about cycle syncing, it could be fun for you to dabble in. And it would give you a chance to look at the membership, which is, I've been enjoying the membership. I haven't full advantage of it as I could, but I'm diving back in. Thank you, Wendy. My haircut, y'all. Let me talk about my hairstylist for a minute. She did what she called a shag, like kind of a long shag, I think is what she called it, like a wolf cut. Instead of just using the razor to layer, she's like, because I went and saw my girl Jackie, who I see like once a year, and she does all the dyeing of my hair. So my hair is actually, I don't know if you can tell, but like we highlighted all of it. This lighting's not gonna help. But like what once was just the gray streak is now re-highlighted and all of that. So I saw my once a year girl, and I was like, and she always asks me, what are we doing? And I always say the same thing, but I want to do something a little different, but not too different. And so I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I need a little something more, my normal, but a little something more. And she's like, you know what? Let me do a more intense version of what I just did to your sister. And because she's like, Deanna was feeling herself when she got out of the chair. It was great to see. But so it was just more layers. She layered the crap out of my hair. Technically, I have like long bangs. Like she cut like long bangs and like, I don't know what she did. But the result is this when I do nothing to it. This is me doing no work in my hair. And it just does this naturally. And I've been getting so many compliments on my hair. And I was like, why didn't we shag me 4 years ago? Like, this is the best haircut ever. I have not blow dried it yet, so I don't know what it looks like straight. But I have haven't felt the need to blow dry it yet because this is what it does when I don't do anything to it. It's awesome. So shag / wolf haircut. What is a normal calorie intake for a person? There is no normal calorie intake for humanity as a whole. Every person is different. Not tracking seems foreign. I don't mind tracking at all. It actually helps me feel better. Exactly. And that's why I started tracking today. I'm like, I just need to check in and make sure I'm eating enough food. And turns out I'm not. Because I haven't been wanting breakfast. I have not been feeling breakfast, which is when I was reversing, I had to eat breakfast to get all my calories in. But now that I kind of have the freedom to like eat more some days and eat less other days, because that's what maintenance is, I haven't been as concerned about it, but I just have not been wanting to cook for breakfast. So I've been eating like 300 calories for breakfast. I'll eat a bar. I'll eat a one or two of the Sandwich Brothers, but I have not been eating, and it's been like 10 o'clock when I've been eating. So I've been really bad about the whole morning breakfast thing. But again, when the cut starts, that's not going to be a bad thing. I just started iTrack Bites, and I'm not sure what program to start. I have like 40 pounds to lose. So all of the plans work as long as you work the plans. If you go to the Healthy website, it used to be called iTrack Bites. Now it is Healthy. If you go to the Healthy website, they actually have a quiz on there that will help guide you towards a plan for you. So if you want to go over to the website, it can give you a suggestion. Do you have to do that one? Whatever it gives you, no. But it asks you some questions based on your preferences. And using that information, it suggests a plan for you. So that could be a great place for you to start. I think it's healthy, HEALTHI app.com is the website. When do you start your cut? I start my cut Monday, January 24th. 2.5 weeks. I am so jazzed. I'm so ready, Wendy. You have no idea. I'm so ready. I can understand that consistency, either track or no track, would seem less anxiety provoking. I honestly, it has been kind of freeing. Like the last week has been really freeing, and here's why. I hopped on the scale when I got home from all of the holiday madness or whatever, and I'm up like 4 or 5 pounds from my maintenance weight, which is fine. It's the holidays. It's not a big deal. Actually, no, I'm up like 3 pounds from my maintenance weight. Whatever it is, I'm up higher than normal. But I was like, you know what? My food philosophy was, I'm just going to enjoy the food that I want to eat, but I want to make the cleaner choices, the healthier choices. I want to get back into eating the more nutritious kind of foods because, Christmas and all that wasn't necessarily the most nutritious eating. So I've been cooking. I've been cooking a lot. I made pork chops one night. What else did I make? I can't even remember. I've been cooking up a storm in the kitchen, making healthy, like full fat, full like heavy carb things, but like healthy food. And within a week, a pound of it came off. Like easy. Which is awesome because I wasn't even monitoring the amount of calories. I was just making sure that I was eating more nutritious foods than non-nutritious foods. That was the M&Ms every day. Like I'm still working on those. They're almost gone. Praise Jesus, because I can't say I'm getting tired of the M&Ms, but I'm ready for them to be out of my house. Note to self, you don't need the giant container of M&Ms from Sam's Club. That's too many M&Ms. So like I've been eating that, but I'm also just like I've eaten some salads for lunch or some sandwiches with a lot of protein and carrots instead of chips. And my dinners have been, high protein and healthy and vegetable filled and all that. And lo and behold, even with some desserts and untracked, some of the weight comes off because I'm eating healthier foods again. And so that was kind of my philosophy for this last bit of maintenance period, was like track if I want, track if I don't want. But just be mindful of what you're eating. Like make nutritious choices most of the time. And the scale's going down. Like I can't even argue with that, which is actually what made me go, crap, am I eating enough? But because if I start a few pounds higher than maintenance, like it's fine. I even checked, my coach checked in with me middle of December. She's like, so how are your weigh-ins? And I told her, I'm like, and I was up like 2 pounds. And she's like, that ain't so bad. You're doing great. Just keep doing your thing. Because I was still weighing myself, not every day, but I still checked in Florida. Um, and so I'm very excited to start cutting though. Whew. Um, Kim, will you always have to track? I'm hoping I won't have to one day. No, you definitely don't have to track forever if you don't want to. For me, I feel more in control. Yeah, and I feel, well, this might have proved otherwise, but I'm always in the camp of like, I will probably be a tracker or at least a check-in tracker my entire life. Because for me, knowledge is power. Like, even if my goal is to overeat one day, I still want to see what I'm doing. I like understanding what it is I'm putting in my body, be it in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus. It doesn't matter. I still like to know what's going into my body. And so tracking helps me, even if it's just, even if you don't want to track calories, but you still want to track a protein and a fiber goal, you still got track, right? So you kind of see everything else that's happening. So it depends on the person. Kim is probably a lifelong tracker. I am probably some semblance of a lifelong tracker. But there are other people that don't want to track for their entire lives, and that's fine too. I spent hours trying to get my hair to hold some kind of curl, and nope, it has just enough waves. It's technically not considered straight. So it also depends on the cut. I have been blessed with really good hair. I will throw that out there. That's not to brag. That's to emphasize that I don't know how much of this is due to my genetics or due to the haircut, but I do know that the layers help. Because look at the difference between like this layer and this layer. There is a big difference in the layers in my hair, and the layers allow the extra kink to look more pronounced, right? Because if you pull it out, some of it doesn't look like anything special, but all as a whole, it really works. So if trying something different like that is what you're into, if your hair is blunt, you might consider getting a haircut with layers. That could be something fun, and see what your hair is capable of. I'm enjoying the freedom of not tracking. For some people, it's freeing and relaxing not to track. Although, full disclosure, I'm also not trying to lose or intentionally control my weight while not tracking. Yeah, it becomes a little bit more essential when you're actively trying to maintain, when you're actively trying to prevent gaining, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, right? So that's where we're at with all that. Really, really good conversation topics tonight. What else would you like to talk about? Or we can keep going. Ask your questions. Tell me, what are your plans for 2022, y'all? Do we have big goals that we're working towards? I would love to hear all about them. You guys know my goals by now, which I'm super jazzed. I'm super jazzed about all of them. Like, there's my little wild card with my goals is sitting right over there. So it's always within my view. And I'm looking at them all, and I am just excited about all of them. I even talked about the cultivating my personal style goal with my husband last night. It was a very strange conversation. He got, not that it's like strange for us to tell each other what we want to do, but like I actually talked about like the stuff that he doesn't necessarily care about, and like the obliger talk and all of that. And he was just like, that is so interesting and so very much like you. Like, which I thought was funny. But I was talking to him about the personal style because he got me a necklace last night, and it's an emerald to go with the emerald earrings he got me for our first anniversary. And but he's like, I don't know what you want to do for, like, because he likes to buy me pretty things, which is really, really sweet. But he's like, what I want to make sure that I'm buying you stuff that you're going to wear. So I was telling him about the whole personal style thing, and I'm like, I will be able to have a better picture for you of what kind of things I would like to continue to accumulate in terms of accessories once I've started to really hone in on what is this personal style going to be for me. And so we had that talk last night. It was good talks. I need to figure out a good haircut. I just told you what haircut to get. You got to go and get yourself layers. Because even if your hair is straight, give it a little something extra. And go to, like, depending on, like, do you know somebody who's a professional stylist or whatever? Because sometimes when you go to a Supercuts or whatever, you might get somebody who's really, really great at it and somebody who's not. So for me, like, I go to Jackie, and she, like, I would have no fear if I sat in her chair and I told her, "Do whatever you want." I have no doubt that I would look like $1,000,000 when I left her chair. Um, because that's just kind of stylish she is. You have layers. Well, maybe get deeper layers. Maybe go for a wolf cut, because that apparently is crazy layers. I don't know. I always thought I had a lot of layers, and then she did this, and I'm like, wow, my hair is doing very different things. Like, not different, just more intense versions of the things that, like, I have less days where the curl doesn't look as good, as presentable. Here, I'm just like, whatever I'm doing, like, I just put the cream in it and let it do its thing, and it works. I have no experience going to anything other than a Supercuts. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I think is worth investing in. I go to a hairdresser maybe twice a year. Maybe twice a year. And that's only because if my hair gets too long, it starts to act funny when I put it up. So I need to just get it cut off. But I go and I spend the money once. I spend the money on coloring once a year and another cut another time, like once a year, just to get the zhuzh back. It's worth investing in a solid hairdresser. It really is. Um, yeah, yeah. Gosh, what else did I want to talk to y'all about? Graduate university. Yes. Create a successful, impactful business. Be able to do a 5K walking video without stopping. Be at a place where I am at peace with my diet. I love all of those goals for you, Rosie. Those are perfect. Those are awesome. I still go to the cheap places. Oh, sorry, y'all. My jaw has been going all day. Literally all day. It has been a day. That includes having some weight loss. I am here for it. I'm here for it. I'm so excited about your goals, Rosie. That's awesome. My next goal is to figure out my word of the year. I just put my goals up on my bulletin board in my room. I love that. I love that. You worked really, really hard on those. So I hope that they inspire you appropriately, because you put a lot of thought into your goals, and I love that. Let's see. Oh, before I forget, I don't know if y'all saw my Instagram story, but the book that I'm reading, I'm literally staring at it and I can't create words. This Year I Will is a book that I'm reading. I mentioned it in the vlog tomorrow, and it is currently on sale. There's a link in the chat for $3.36. The hardcover version. And it's one of those books, like, I'm reading it for the second time, because last year when we read it, I was like, this is a great book to just, like, pop open in January and remind yourself of all of these things. It's a quick read. It's like 200 pages and it's like this big. I don't know. But it's on sale. I didn't know that it was on sale until I went to go get my affiliate link to pop in the description box for tomorrow's video. And I was like, oh, really? $3? Heck yes. So if you need a new book, turn my blog into a business, prioritize intentional rest, and rekindle my love of reading, embrace who I am and live in the gray area, protect and grow my wealth, reconnect to my faith, become an intuitive eater, and heal my relationship with food and my body, connect with others and grow friendships, maintain my environment, and use what I have. Let's be real. I was overthinking my goals big time. Oh, you absolutely were. You absolutely were. But you came to conclusions, and you made decisions. You made decisions. I think I should reread it once when I finish Fitness for Everybody. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth rereading. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, as I'm reading it in the morning, I'm like, okay. Like, it just, I had things highlighted from last year, and it's a good reread. It's a good reread. I'm going to watch the Patreon video. Considering doing an Instagram post of why I'm semi-okay, I've gained weight. I feel more motivated, and though I'm not proud I let go of weight loss, I'm proud of what I did prioritize. And that's what counts, Rosie. It's okay. Like, I spent my entire year not having a weight loss goal, and it's been weird, but it's okay because I did other things, and other things, especially for me, nutritionally for my body, I've done other things. I know you're doing things outside of nutrition for your body, but it's we live in such a society now where like it's bizarre if you're not trying to lose weight, right? And we fail to realize that like there are a lot of other things we could be spending our energy on as well. And this is coming from somebody who fully intends to lose weight this year. But like that's one of 8 things that I have planned for this year, right? I have the only thing that involves weight loss is my fat loss phase. All of my other goals, while some of them will be aided by the fact that I'm trying to lose weight, my YouTube metrics will, fingers crossed, Lord willing, hopefully go up because I'm going to start weight loss mode again. And people would much rather watch weight loss mode than they would maintenance mode. So like things tie into that, but I only have one one weight related goal. Cultivating my style is kind of body related, but um and then I have other things, business goals, marriage goals. I have a puppy dog goal this year. Like I got goals and not all of them center around weight loss, you know? And weight loss isn't even the center. It's just one of the things I'm working on, you know? My decision to rekindle for reading was 100. Rekindle. Ha ha ha. I didn't even. Nope. Nope. Totally went over my head. Every semester I pass is a semester I'm proud of. Yes. Yes, Rosie. Absolutely. I gained all the weight I lost in 2021, at least based on my last weigh-in. I'm on day 3 of my no scale year. Oh, the no scale year has begun. And how are you feeling about that, Lissa? Um, because I was never clear on what was your goal to maintain your loss and become an intentional eater, or just let things happen as they may. Because it's different. Again, it's different for everybody what their intuitive eating life looks like, right? For me, apparently my intuitive eating life looks like under eating, which is an interesting thing. But that's after a long time of a long time of trying to avoid overeating. Like I've found in my own way, even though I haven't let go of dieting or anything, I've found my own version of food freedom, which feels really good. It feels really good. Like it's a bizarre thing to go into a cut sitting here and going like, I have complete and total food freedom during this diet. There are no limits. There are like obviously there are limits. Like I have a thing. Good question, Kim. I never put up a calendar for January because I am not on top of life. At a quick glance, the Patreon calls, oh, they should be in here because because auto scheduling. And this is why Google Maps. Can y'all tell that like the brain is no longer firing on all cylinders? Oh, I was looking for you guys in a different program when you're another tab on my Chrome bar. That's why I couldn't find you. Why I said that Google Calendar is one of the important things of planning that I use. They have things like put this on every month or every this or every that. The members only Zoom call appears to be the 20th, ladies and gentlemen, Thursday the 20th, and that would make the goal setting call Thursday the 27th. Yes. Looking at my schedule to make sure that appears to be okay. And then, okay, because that one I don't have scheduled yet. So the 20th and the 27th are the Patreon Zoom calls for the month. And I'll stick those in a post in a calendar later. I may go down at some point. It may go down at some point. It may stay the same. My goal is to let my weight fall where it wants to fall. Fair enough. So yeah. Yeah. Oh goodness. I'm so jazzed. I saw a fat loss phase on my calendar just then. I've had it in my calendar for months. And as I was scrolling through by the goal setting Zoom chat, I will be in loss mode and I'm so stinking excited. Oh my goodness, my friends. What else shall we discuss today? Does anybody have a particularly exciting Christmas present that they got this year? I say as I'm waving around this is one of my exciting ones, my Hydrate Spark water bottle. Um, what else did I get? Oh, I have to, I will be sharing these in a favorites video, but I got the best pants from Amazon. They're workout pants by the brand Fittin, Fittin, and they're like boot cut pants. And y'all, they are currently my favorite thing in my closet. I got them in like my summer colors. Wait, can you see? Oh, look at this. Look at this. They're in my summer blue. So I avoided getting black, and they are so comfortable. And they were like $25. So I ended up getting 2 pairs of them for Christmas and then a pair of workout pants from the same brand. And I ain't mad about it. I'm very, very, very pleased with my pants. Not weighing myself has been going well so far. I've been a little curious, but it saves me time in the morning, and I'm able to wake up at 2 a.m. and take a sip of water. Okay, Miss Extremist, if you wake up at 2 a.m. and you're not allowed to take a sip of water, you're doing it wrong. You're allowed to take a sip of water. Are all others doing a fat loss phase with you after all? Who is doing a fat loss phase with me? Show of hands. Because I actually don't know, Rosie. I actually don't know. I have 2 clients who have not scheduled their first call yet. So I was curious to know if they were waiting until my fat loss phase started to join me, because I did offer that up as an option. I have somebody who came back in January, and me, Kim. Kim is my client who came back. Are you starting with me, Kim, even though you signed up for the Patreon coaching this month? Are you waiting until the 24th to start? Because I gave you your macros and everything already. But Kim's going back into fat loss mode after a wildly successful reverse diet with me last year and hanging out in maintenance for a while. She's ready to go back into fat loss mode. I'm ready to go back into fat loss mode after doing the exact same thing. No, I started 3 days ago. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm excited. But I don't know. Are there other people that are going to do it with me? Bowflex adjustable weights. Fantastic. That will be perfect. How awesome. I got a really fancy professional nail drill from when I started doing my nails again. Okay. And I bought myself a bunch of cute workout clothes that I'm pretty sure made my lifts better. Oh, of course. Of course. Cute workout clothes make all the lifts better. Yes. I had a very strict rule about not consuming any food or beverages after midnight. Oh, yeah, that's nope. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thirsty, I'm drinking water. Because if you're thirsty, you need water, you know? Oh my gosh, yes. Kayla, what are you answering yes to? To doing the fat loss phase with me? Because if yes, first of all, hi, I didn't know you were here. But yay, awesome. Also amount I should be able to film. I should be able to use film to use to film YouTube videos. When I get to that, I also what? Lisa, stop spending your money on me. But thank you. I forget that I have the super chats active. I don't even I haven't looked at super chats in ages. I don't even know what's on there. When I get to that, I also have a headband with speakers in it I can use around the house. There's a sleep mask. Oh, I love that. Yes, yes, those are super cozy. I'm slowly getting back to it, but yes, me. Yay, Rosie. Yes to the cut and fat loss. Woohoo! Go, Kayla. Yeah, we're all anybody who wants to start with me on the 24th, let's go. Let's go. The only reason, full transparency, the only reason that I'm starting on the 24th and not this week is because, well, first of all, it felt very fitting that my start date of my reverse diet was, when was that? May 24th. And this ends, or my official maintenance phase ends on January 24th. So I liked that 8-month to the day bookend thing. But also mine was reverse engineered for the cruise that I'm supposed to take, that I don't know if we're going to take because COVID. which was, I thought supposed to be over by now, but alas, here we are. So I reverse engineered my start date from my cruise travel to plan my diet break because lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, did you know, and if you've been following me, you should know this by now, that you're not supposed to like just go, I'm going to lose weight and then just keep losing weight, stay in weight loss mode until you hit your goal. Did you know you're not supposed to do that? In fact, we are supposed to periodize our nutrition and not stay in a cut for more than like 16 to 20 weeks, y'all. We shouldn't do that, regardless of how much food we've lost, how much weight we've lost. So we're supposed to take diet breaks. So I planned my diet break to be when this cruise is supposed to be happening. And I'm keeping it that way because if the cruise happens, I want it to be my diet break because who goes on a cruise and still tries to stay in a calorie deficit? Not this girl. So we being my coach and me, strategically opted to put my cut or my diet break on the vacation because I'm sitting here and this is why I have a coach. Even though I am a coach, this very reason, because I can think reasonably through other people's dilemmas and problems and macros and all of that. But not my own. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out, and this was months ago, trying to figure out when to pull the trigger on fat loss because I want to have some pounds down before my cut or before my cruise. But then I have to I want to be in maintenance mode by my cruise. So then I'd have to, reverse diet would be like 4 to 6 weeks. And then, oh my gosh, it only gives me like 8 weeks to cut. And I'm sitting here like freaking out about this. And my coach is like, or you just put your diet break there. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? And this is why I have someone telling me what to do because I can't think straight when it comes to my own things, right? I should have been able to think of that, but I did not. And that takes away all of the pressure of I need to, have lost this much weight so I can reverse diet and get to maintenance by the cruise. No, I get to be in cut mode until right up to the cruise. And then I have a week of a diet break or 2 weeks with travel of a diet break. And then when I get back from vacation, I'm right back into cut mode. Easy, easy peasy, no stress, no worry, no pressure, easy. I got a random Google Play credit code in my email the other day, and I have nothing I need. Well, thank you. Things I wish I knew 13 years ago. Tomorrow's 13 years since I first joined WW. I'm not going to California. Oh, I'm sorry, Rosie. You were so looking forward to that. Oh, man. I was so excited, but the cases are nuts. Yeah, the caseload's out of control. Out of control. Which is we're back to not doing things right now. Personal choice. It's not that Minnesota has not shut down or anything, but we have shut down. The Engebretsens have shut down. So I go to the grocery store. I went and I'm not scheduled for a facial until the end of February or beginning of March anyway. But I haven't even taken myself off of blackout for church because the COVID numbers. I was like, how long do I wait? So I'm going to let this 4-week wave, this holiday, this Christmas and New Year wave pass and see where we're at before I start singing in church again. So we have personally decided to shut down, which in the winter, not a bad thing because I'm not going anywhere anyway. Let's be honest. Yep, things have been so much more challenging since I stopped coaching. Yep. And that's, and it hasn't been too challenging for me, but I've also been oh, I should reach out. And sometimes I do reach out to my coach just because she's also a friend and she's like, if you want to message me, it doesn't matter. But I've had multiple people return because they're like, nope, I need you. I need you. And I love that. Come back. I'd be glad to have you. I kind of wish I knew about the concept of a diet break when I did my cut last year. I know. The things, oh my gosh, how would things have gone differently if I knew then what I know now? It's crazy, right? They said double vax proof, but masks are not mentioned at all. Yeah, I don't think, and are you talking about in the United States? The US is fighting very hard against doing another mask mandate, as far as I understand. Um, but definitely be like we're boosted. We got boosted at the beginning of December. When did we get boosted? We got boosted. Oh, to the day, 6 months to the day. We got boosted on November 22nd. So we're double vaxxed and boosted and whatever. But as we are seeing, that doesn't stop you from getting it, which is the point. That is the point of having the vaccine. It's not to prevent you from getting it. It is to prevent you from going to the hospital if you do. But I would still rather not get it. Personal choice. But it's one of those things that I'm sitting here and also going, we're gonna get it. We're like, I will not feel like a failure if I end up with it, because like it's gonna happen. But I'm doing everything I can. I've got extra vitamin D, extra vitamin C. I've got, I'm taking my vitamins, doing the things, eating the foods, trying to be as healthy as possible to protect myself. But also part of me is like, it's an inevitability, isn't it? It might be an inevitability, but all we can do is our best, right? Gotta run, have a clubhouse room to co-moderate. Have a great time, Rosie. I got boosted on your birthday. I'm pretty sure I still got it. Even though I never tested positive. Yeah, I'm based on what I know about your sickness, I'm pretty sure you had it too. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Anyway, does anybody have anything specific that they would like to talk about? I am open. Oh, we could get on this topic. Do I get on this topic? The same topic we always end up on. Who has seen the Harry Potter special? Anybody? I have my booster on Saturday. Yay! Congratulations. Boosted day is a good day. I didn't have too many side effects from it either. I had a sore arm, just a little bit, and I kind of felt off, but I was also hardcore PMSing. So, like, how much of it was PMS versus how much of it was weirdness from the shot, I don't know. We laid low for a day and I was fine. So there's that. But the Harry Potter special, anybody? Melissa said she hasn't, but I'm not going to talk about it if nobody's seen it because you got to see it. It was good. It made my heart very happy. Very happy. Oh, I just love it. Truly, it made my heart so happy. I might have teared up a little bit at the end. I really did. Because I understood what they were going through, not to that capacity, but it was like the end where they finished filming, and I was like, oh, I felt like that when you guys ended too. I'm only annoyed because I'm pretty sure I caught it from urgent care and only went because they gave me the wrong antibiotics and I had to sit in the waiting room for hours. That is a possibility. That is annoying. That's really annoying. I'm convinced I'm going to get it like from going to the grocery store. And we had an exposure risk over, not us personally, but like my mom was directly exposed to somebody. She was sitting not one person across the table, but like to the side. Had a luncheon with these people who were all vaccinated. They had to be. They were all vaccinated human beings. But the next day she got a phone call saying that the person that she was in close proximity with for an extended period of time with no masks on because they were eating had tested positive for COVID. So then we're sitting there going, well, crap. Because this was, of course, 3 days before Christmas. And so we managed to find, we worked it out and we managed to find at-home tests. And we made my mom test on Christmas Eve, which was like, she was exposed on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days after exposure. So she tested on Christmas Eve, and we hung out on Christmas Eve, and she tested Christmas Day to make sure it was safe to come over Christmas Day, and she was negative the whole time. So and never had symptoms or anything. But I was like, man. So like if she was exposed and we were exposed to her, there's that. But like I'm convinced it's just gonna like fly through my window or that's what's gonna happen. I've heard some people have reactions and some not. I will have the trifecta. 3 different types. AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Moderna. Fascinating. You'll have to let me know if you get any superpowers or anything by having the trifecta. I got my booster when I was on my period and I was knocked out. They called me on Thanksgiving about my UTI and they were supposed to tell me it was an antibiotic resistant strain. If they had, I might have been able to send a new prescription. Huh. I don't know. I mean, what's done is done. If you had it, you're better. And if you didn't have it, you didn't have it, So nobody's seen the Harry Potter thing. Okay, well that was my topic at hand that I was going to throw out there because we always end up on Harry Potter, but apparently we're not going to talk about Harry Potter. And that is okay. That's okay. My husband, by the way, my husband's real into it. We're in book 5 now, and we've actually spent time at home doing like puzzles, or he and I are building our Lego sets and whatnot. And he's like, let's listen to the Harry Potter book. I was like, I got you. I got you into it. Like you're into it. And it makes my heart happy. I feel like I have succeeded in our marriage because I got him into Harry Potter. And he got me into, like, I'm a much bigger nerd than I was 8 years ago before I married him. So he kind of won too. We both won the marriage. I want to watch it, but I haven't yet. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know how many more times I'm going to yawn. I can just feel the tension in my jaw, I can feel it. Oh my gosh. So let me know, y'all, when you watch it because it is worth watching. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Or another topic, which I don't know if you guys are the ones that would watch this or not, but the Sex and the City reboot. Anybody? The Sex and the City reboot. I'm finally up to date on that. I definitely knew about all the spoilers before I watched it. But I would love opinions on the Sex and the City reboot. Fun fact, and you'll hear this in my vlog tomorrow, I think too. You said Golden Girls. So fun fact, apparently the actresses so Samantha and Charlotte and Carrie are the same age as when the Golden Girls started filming. Think about that for a minute. How times have changed. Like that's literally how times have changed. The Golden Girls and the Sex and the City reboot is centered around women of the same age. How crazy is that? Someone on Instagram spoiled it for me. I saw articles on pop up on Facebook, and I can't remember what I saw, but like something gave it away enough where I'm like, well, now I know. So I'm just gonna read the articles, the spoilers, and fine. It's fine. I wasn't heartbroken that I knew the spoiler. I just watched a bunch of Golden Girls episodes in honor of Betty White. Yes. And also, my gosh, so much has happened since I've last talked to you. Betty White? Betty White. I swear I'm not crying. If I look like I'm crying, I have this weird thing. I don't know if it's just me, but when I yawn, my eyes start to water without fail. And sometimes it's more intense than others, but I've been yawning so much that like I'm gonna look like I've been crying, simply because I'm yawning so much. But Betty White, y'all, Betty White. So on the one hand, she died just before her 100th birthday. How bogus is that? But on the other hand, I saw like memes or whatever pop up that like, what if Betty White left so we didn't have to hate 2022? Like she was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go out now, leave it in 21 and not shatter the lives of everybody by dying in 2022. But I was like, at the same time, I'm like my husband told me, I didn't know about it. He told me, and I literally was like, for 5 minutes, I'm like, are you serious? No, 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 there's no. Like, I was like, "No, there's no way. That's horrible. What? No." That was literally me. Maybe not 5 minutes, but for at least a minute and a half. That's how I was like, "No, that's the worst thing to happen all year." My husband's like, "I don't know that I would go that far." I'm like, "You don't understand. It's Betty White." I love Betty White. And like, okay, my favorite, and I know she's had a lot of moments and many that I have not seen, but Betty White in The Proposal, come on. Come on. My favorite Betty White. Oh my gosh. She was so funny. Um, something like that on TikTok about the character ages, not the actresses themselves. Oh, how old were I thought it was the actresses, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. But the even regardless, the character ages are the same. Like they're representing the same age of woman. It's crazy to think about, right? Um, I have a T-shirt, 2 coffee mugs, a keychain. Oh, we watch either Golden Girls or Seinfeld all the time. Oh my gosh, a lot of Golden Girls fans in here. I can't say that I'm not a fan. I've just haven't turned it on in so long. Like I haven't watched the series in a really long time. But like it's funny. I'm always entertained by it when I do watch it. Those sassy ladies. And I almost call them old ladies, but like now I'm wondering just like even if the characters were the same age as the Sex and the City characters, like how old were the actors? Because I'm closer to the mid 50s than I was to than I am to my teenage years. You know? Oh my gosh. I just heard that. Like I just understood. I just understood what I just said. Time flies, y'all. Um, I've seen a lot of memes joking that the wrong queen was taken. Oh my gosh, I saw 2 different people. I don't know who took it from who, but I literally saw the same TikTok sketch twice from 2 different people. I was like, interesting. It was like the angels or whatever. It's like, did you go get the old lady or whatever? And and it was bad. I can't do it justice. I can't. But yes, the TikTok memes are great. The, so there's an account. Oh, I'm not gonna know what the account is. Because I don't actually pay attention to their names, but it's this black dude that does like he often plays God and and is trying to be like God talking to the different years and the different situation. He also does a lot where he's the different vaccines. And I don't remember his name at all, but he does some pretty funny sketches. And he was real fast at I'm not following too many people for me to be able to figure out who this is. I'm trying I want to be able to tell you who he is, guys. And I don't know. I don't know. Shoot. He's really is this him? Yes, this is him. BMOTHE Prince. BMOTHE Prince. BMOTHE Prince. A millennial man baby. Brian Moeller is his name. Brian Moeller. This is his account, his picture. And he was so quick to get on the Betty White one. Like, so all of a sudden, like, I'm used to God coming, like, it's got a little block on it and it'll say God and it's his face and he's saying something to somebody. And I'm flipping through and all of a sudden he goes, Betty White? Like, and he was yelling at 2021 because he's been doing a lot with the years. Like, so many sketches so fast, but that guy's really funny. Betty and B were like 63, Estelle was 62, and Root was in her 50s. Oh, okay. And they were all portraying women that were like 55. I went to the Rue McClanahan estate auction in NYC and even ordered a hat from the estate sale online a couple years ago that was signed and decorated by Rue. Best Christmas gift ever. I think fondly of Rue McClanahan, not because I saw her, but I knew like I did not know she had this magic power of she played Madame Morrible as in Wicked on Broadway. That was the word I was trying to say. And so I didn't know that she could sing or do anything like I knew she could act, but I didn't know she was like Broadway actor, you know? And I feel like did she do other things that I should know about? I don't know, but like I didn't know that about her. When I think of Rue McClanahan, I think of the Golden Girls, and so it was kind of fun to learn that she did Broadway too. And I think she was doing that not long before she died. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, 2021, man. Good riddance. Good riddance. But I am feeling, I don't know about the rest of you. Is anyone else feeling like cautiously optimistic, but like optimistic about 2022? Because I really am. Because like at this point, right? We're still in a global pandemic, but this year I planned for it. Like I was not even trying to kid myself into thinking, oh, 2022 is the year that things get back to normal. No, I'm just planning for it to not be. And set my goals accordingly for it. It doesn't matter. I can reach every single one of these goals without the pandemic, without normalcy, whatever life throws at me, I can still work to reach all of these goals. And so, for whatever reason, I'm like, 2021 just had me, us, the collective we, had us so bogged down that like it was really hard by the end of it to still be optimistic. Like, I didn't feel too festive for the holidays or anything like that. It just kind of felt going through the motions. Like we did a couple of fun holiday things. We went to a Christmas parade. The Christmas tree at my in-laws' house was magnificent, which was really fun to sit out by all the time. Um, but in terms of just like the magic of the season, like I felt like it was just overshadowed by being tired. You know, I ended 2021 very tired. And for whatever reason, I don't I can't tell you what it is, but I'm feeling really good about 2022. I don't even know why. I just am. Um, Cautiously optimistic. I think we know what we're in for pandemic-wise, so we can get back to getting personal things done with that in the background. Yeah, I would agree. I'm just like, you know what? COVID doesn't have any power here. And like it can dictate us going out. It can get us sick, but like it's not in theory going to just completely obliterate the world. Like, isn't most of the world tired? Couldn't most of us use a little bit more optimism this year? You know? Um, so following all the rules. I'm a rule follower through and through. Oh yeah, and me too. I'm not gonna not follow the rules. And like I said, we've quarantined ourselves. Or quarantine is not the right word. Locked ourselves down. Is that better? You know what I mean? Like we aren't going out in all that. Because newsflash, the United States does not have it together. Um, Getting sick threw me off in December. Yeah, and I'm fully ready to be like if I get it and it knocks me out for a week or two, like it's just like I've already accepted it. It hasn't even happened, and I've just already accepted that like there could be a week or two blip, and there could be some unnecessary travel. There could be some whatever inserted here. Like my brain has already come to terms with blips in the system, things that don't go according to plan, which is saying something for this Enneagram 9 who does not like her routine to be messed up. So don't get me wrong. I will still be perturbed if my routine is messed up. That is the reason, the, the primary reason that we are not in Florida right now and we didn't just turn around and drive on back down is because I wanted my stuff, my space in full control of my surroundings. And that is like literally that's why my husband's like, do you want to come back? Do you want to go back to Florida? Because he's still work from home from now until eternity at this point. So we've learned how to do that at his parents' house, and his parents would have been happy to have us. And I'm just like, I I don't. Not right now. Like I want to start my cut and start all of that in my own home in control of things. Like there's still that control freak side of me that like I want to have everything just so, but also like and I don't know what this would be because like if I'm control freak day to day and like I want my stuff and my things, but I'm still okay with and understanding and ready for the potential speed bump, pothole. It's probably more like a pothole instead of a speed bump. Like, what I don't know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, what sort of, like, personality trait is that I'm like, I've just mentally prepared for some it's like my wedding. We worked every wedding, something goes wrong. Something is gonna go wrong. Something's gonna go the way it was not planned to. We planned for that. We gave our, at the time, less than 2-year-old nephew the ring bearer box and expected him to make it down the aisle. We literally we planned the flaw into our wedding. It did not go the way it was supposed to. I didn't think it was going to go the way it was supposed to. So I didn't have to get angry about it or upset about it because I knew that it was going to go wrong. That it's like, it's almost that mindset, like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, knowing that at some point something is not going to go the way that I would like it to go, and it's going to put a blip in the system and jack things up for a little bit, and that just needs to be okay. And there's something very peaceful about having that mindset, and it's not even negative. I don't think, is it negative? I don't think it's negative to be like, I fully anticipate. Jess! Hi! Oh, that just made me so happy to see your name. It took me a hot second to figure out who you were because that last name threw me for a loop. Hi, I miss you. This is your school account. Well, I mean, so trust me, it's okay. um, Now I lost my train of thought because Jess showed up. But like, I don't think that's a negative mindset. It's just I don't know. I'm just so at peace with the fact that, like, something's probably going to go wrong this year, but I have all of the power to get the thing. Like, I can still go for all of these things. And if I meet all of these goals this year, how freaking amazing is 2022 going to be? And it has nothing to do with what's happening in the outside world. It has everything to do with what's happening in here and in here. And I think there's a lot of power in that. I really do. I miss you too. I miss you so much. My goodness. It's only my new last name because it's school related. Oh, okay. I think Lindsay used the word sequestered at one point. Yeah, sequestered is a good word. That is currently what we are, sequestered. Our province just locked down again today. I did hear that Canada was doing lockdowns. I have not been up on the news lately. I got so tired of the news by the end of the year that I just have not been paying as much attention. I look at Sharon Says So's Instagram account for most of my news, and that's about it. Restaurant closes for indoors, kids at home school, gyms closed, stores capacities reduced. I'm still somewhat living a normal life, still going to the gym, but my gym is pretty empty when I'm there. Yeah, and everybody has this different level of the stuff that they're comfortable with, and we are much more cautious. So we're sequestered, and it's fine. But I think that, like, anticipating the blip of sequestered is your word of the year. No, not quite. It's the word of the moment. So the conversation that you walked in on was me talking about how I'm actually feeling pretty optimistic about 2022, and I think the 2021 just bogged all of us down so much. Like, I'm a pretty positive person, and by the end of the year I was just tired. I was like, I don't have it. Like, the anxiety was rough. Thank goodness for CBD because I've been taking plenty of that. No, I took a 25 milligram gummy today. Maybe that's why I'm feeling this way. But the whole, like, 2021 brought such negativity, right? And just every aspect of things. And, like, I'm not saying that good things didn't happen, because good things absolutely happened. But, like, the general air of 2021 was just, and I feel different about 2022. I feel like it's like, even if something goes wrong, and something will go wrong because that's Murphy's Law, right? Even if I feel like I'm ready for it, and I'm not going to let it, even if it jacks things up, I'm not going to let it shake me, you know? You are a crazy positive person. It's amazing to see your light shine. Thank you. I don't always feel like a positive person. Although 2022, granted, we're only 5 days in, but I'm feeling much more optimistic. And I don't know, maybe it's because like I've done a bajillion things today and I'm just like, oh, guess who's back? And maybe all I needed was that like I took an extended period of time off where I was less concerned about deadlines and this, that, and the other thing. So when 2022 started, I could hit the ground running again. I don't know, but I'm feeling very optimistic. CBD was the best thing that came out of my 2021. Yes. Yes. I'm so glad you finally decided to take some because it's so helpful. It's so helpful. And there's no shame in that, you know? Um, it's not the same as doing the full-fledged THC thing or anything like that, although I know some people that do that too. I just find uh like peace is really the best word for me to use to describe it. Like I've found that it is easier for when I remember to take it. That's the key. I took my gummy this afternoon. I'm like myself a little CBD boost for all the stuff I got going this afternoon, and I realized that I never took it in the morning. But I remember to take it. Like it just gives me kind of this overarching calm. It's this peace that I'm like, whatever happens is fine, you know? If the healthy meeting didn't go as according to plan, it's fine. Like I was real. Any CBD recommendations? Yes, I'm actually an ambassador for a brand, Jess. And you can text me if you want more questions. But Soul CBD is my brand of choice. And I have converted multiple people that are on this chat or were in this chat over to Soul CBD, and it has been tremendously helpful. And Alyssa can attest to it because it has, I think, helped her anxiety a lot, which is great. And it has helped my anxiety a lot. I my anxiety level has just regularly gone up over the last couple of years, and this helped me a ton. I went out and drove my car around in the winter yesterday, and I try very hard not to leave the car. I'm like, not to leave the house because like, what if I hit a patch of weird ice and snow? And with the green machine and that whole hot mess, that oh my gosh, my poor green machine got stuck in downtown of my old city, and it was not pretty. It was really stressful, really stressful. I'm driving home from church nonetheless. But so like snow, like rain, causes me driving anxiety. Wait, for real? Wait, about the car? Yeah, for real about the car. Or snow or CBD helping. Oh, that's huge. Oh, I know. Yeah. No, I put CBD in my pill container. I don't take tablets in the morning. I take oil or a gummy in the morning. The only tablets I take regularly are the dream capsules. I take those and mm, they are my favorite thing. But I don't have a capsule that I take in the morning. I take the alert capsules when I need the extra caffeine boost. I take the immunity capsules after I've been out and about in humanity and need that extra immunity boost. I just whatever I can do, right? Because it's got vitamin D and vitamin C in there. And I haven't taken the relief capsules yet or the chill capsules now that I'm thinking about it. And I have samples of them both, and I just haven't taken them. Um, um, I take the alert capsules every morning. Nice. I knew that it happened. I'm so impressed that had the courage to go out in the snow. So proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just, it's it's still nerve-wracking to me. And so we have a different car now. I have my own SUV, which helps a lot. And my husband, when it snowed last week, he literally came down from work in the middle of the workday. He's like, I don't have any meetings. He's like, so are you going to go take your car, drive around in the freshly fallen snow? And I looked at him and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he goes, can I take your car out in the snow? And I'm like, knock your socks off. Have a great time. And he's like, come with me. You don't have to drive. Come with me. So I went with him and I sat in the passenger side and got to feel how my car felt in the snow. And like, because I know what the cars are supposed to feel like and when it's struggling and when it's not. And even in the passenger side, I know it's not the same as driving, but I could still get the feel for this car feels a lot more secure than the green machine did. And therefore, the first time I went out on my own, I had the confidence to drive down our street, which is never plowed really well or anything like that. And hit I don't hit them fast, but like I wasn't afraid of the snowy curves, because you know how all the right hand turns end up with snow banks that you end up like skidding your way through. And it was fine. And I've gone out a couple of times and it's been fine. And I really noticed the CBD working for me when I was at a church event and it started to rain on my way home. And I didn't freak out. It's not that I didn't freak out. There was no sign of freak out. None. I was just like, a little bit of rain. Turned on my music. My lights were shining. I was driving down in my SUV and I'm like, nothing. No fear. Now, it wasn't pouring rain, but it was still like all vegetation is anxiety provoking to me. And we've also, in driving up into Florida and Chicago and everything, we've hit rain, some heavy rain a couple of times. And granted, I was not driving, but I did not freak out. And the only thing I've changed is I take CBD in some sort every single day. And I'm like, you know what? This is worth it. This is 110% worth it. You know, rain is rain. Yeah. And it's just the downpour. I have not driven in a downpour myself yet. I don't know how I would handle that, but so far so good. So far, so good. So all of that to say, Jess, yes, I have a great CBD brand to recommend to you. I have a discount code. It's a wonderful thing, and it works really well. So, and I'm not just saying that to sell it to you, because it actually does work really well. So there's that. Oh, my friends, we have made it to 8:30. That's incredible progress. Congrats on the decreased anxiety and precipitation. Thank you. It sounds so, my anxiety and precipitation, it sounds so silly, but it's my thing, man. It is my PTSD, my personal PTSD. I'll also put the Harmony gummies in my pill container the week I take them. Do they go stale or weird if you leave them, or do they like jack up the other pills in your container? Because I've thought about putting gummies in the pill container, but I'm like, I don't know about leaving them out. You know, like I keep them in their tight little jar. Yeah, it's a legit anxiety. I know. It's just, as somebody who hasn't had anxiety problems until her late 20s, like part of me is like, I used to be like this. And I had a whole conversation. Who was it with? Was it with you guys? About how our brains don't fully form until we're 25. And so maybe that's why all my anxiety kind of came in my late 20s and everything. But like part of me is like, I never had this problem before. And I even vented to my mom about it. I was like, did I have anxiety as a kid? Was I ever like this? It's just like, no, you were basically fearless as a child. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Work in progress, just like everybody else, figuring out how to do this thing called life. All right, my friends, silly anxiety. I'm great with silly anxiety. Fair enough. All right, friends, I am going to let y'all go. And thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining me for the new year. I am so excited for what is coming in the future for Diva and the Divine. I've got all sorts of things planned, mostly around my cut, but I know it's the kind of stuff that you guys like to watch anyway. So I'm really excited. I hope you're excited as well. The cut starts on the 24th. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I see some of my quiet people that are still here. I love that you guys are still here. Thank you for that. 2022, go us. You basically summed it up, Sarah. Go us. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. I can feel it. I love you all, and thank you. I'll talk to you later.